Okay, so when you're using Stonksy, you can use it on like say like the 1 minute and the 3 minute time frame, but it's really difficult to kind of chase the candles around and get your entries in and out. That might change in version 2 when maybe we can automate it, but for the moment you need to enter the trades manually. Now for this reason I find the 15 minute really, really good, but even so sometimes things happen when you're asleep or you're away from the computer. So, for example, this morning at 7:30 UK time, the Stonksy indicator went from a green background to a red background on the 15-minute time frame for Bitcoin versus USD. And at that time, I was busy getting my daughter breakfast, that kind of thing, so I completely missed the entry. So when I looked at it, this big red candle had already happened and the price was down here. Now, what I've generally found is it's good if you think, okay, I've missed that, not a big deal, I'm going to set an entry for where it would have been anyway, with the thinking that generally the price comes back to that price. So you can see this morning that actually did that with this wick here a few hours later. Looking back in time, say to this one here, let's just zoom in a little bit, you can see here that the price was there, and actually if you'd have caught that an hour or so later, you would have seen the price even higher. So you could have shorted there and then gone all the way down there. Or you could have just thought, okay, well, I missed that one. But then if you'd have set an order for that price, you can see that it came back to that price several times. Here, 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 here. You get the idea. It came back to there a lot of times. Now that overall would not have been a profitable short if you'd have kept with Stonksy from the start to the end. But if you'd have kept an eye on it, you might have sold here with a 1.15% gain, or even here with a 0.75% gain. Let's look at another one. Now this one here, this would have been fantastic. So let's say you missed that entry there. You would have had an opportunity here to re-enter, and you could have rode that all the way down to there. And that would have been a 6% gain. So say you were doing 10x leverage for 60%, not bad. And if you look back in time, you'll see that a lot of these shorts were actually very profitable. The same goes for longs too. So for example, this long here, if you'd have missed the entry here, you could have got it later here. Get the idea? So what did I do this morning? What I did was I zoomed into TradingView, and you can see here the exact price is when that candle body there crosses over into that candle body there. So it's around about 67440. So what I did, I went over to Bybit and I set a short limit order at 67440. Now I'd already missed it there. I'd missed it going back there. I think I set the order around about here, and I thought, no, that's not really going to make it. And all of a sudden it went back up and came back down again. Now I am doing this on fairly degenerate leverage. So 25x is what I'm using here. So if I was to close this trade now, I could make 14.72%. It's only $12 because this account is very, very small. Obviously, what would make sense now is to put a stop loss, say here, 67394. So now that trade is protected anyway. But let's be more clever about this. Let's look at Stonksy again. So here we're looking at the 1 minute time frame and also the 3 minute time frame, and you can see that both of these are now long. So you could decide, you could think, well, okay, I've made money, let's come out of the trade and then I'll look for a new opportunity. Or you could just say, well, Stonksy on the 15 minute says bearish, so let's stick with that. Okay, so this is about half an hour later, and you can see what happened was the price was going up and then it went red again on the 1 minute time frame, and also the 3 minute time frame went into a no trade zone. So on the 15 minute we are still red. Now at this point I think you should just use your own kind of knowledge of TA in whatever way you use it. So for example, you might think, well, okay, the price came down to here to 66,782. If it breaks that low, the chances are we're going to go much lower. If it bounces here and starts going back up, that might be the end of the dip. And you can see here, for example, that even on the 1 minute, Stonksy's saying stay short. But I think for the sake of finishing the video, what I'll do, I'll wait for a 1 minute candle close on a green background before I close the trade. And I think it's probably good practice to get these kind of ideas in your head saying, if this does that, that's what I'm going to do. And be disciplined with yourself. It's very rare that anybody gets the exact bottom or the exact top. Okay, so in fact, that candle did close on the green background over there on the 1 minute time frame. So I should do what I said and close the trade. And I suppose that is a kind of double bottom, although a double bottom on the 1 minute time frame doesn't really mean very much. If I close the trade now, I will make 18.43% profit. So if you look how often these 15-minute time frames change. So this change was this morning on Thursday. There was one on Monday, Sunday, Friday, Tuesday. So you're talking 3 or 4 a week. And just imagine if you made 10% profit 3 or 4 times a week. That would come to an enormous profit over a year. So have fun playing with Stonksy. If you've got any questions, then please do let me know. If you've got any topics you'd like me to cover about Stonksy, please let me know that as well, and I'll make a video for you. Okay, thanks for watching. This is Saver Crypto, working in conjunction with Stonksy. So trade safe and, above all, tell your friends.